Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Call hello, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakapadash. Of course, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders, the great millstone, who continue through the Holy Spirit to give us His truth. Salutations to the fellow Akim out there on the highways and byways, across the four corners, pushing His truth in all honesty and sincerity, trying to wake up the remaining, hopefully, elect of Jake. All right, this is Nama with the DC camp. And a continuation from the last video. I had to cut it short due to the time. This is picking up where I left off. This is Dr. Tommy Curry, and he's going in on these feminists and how, putting a spotlight on their hypocrisy. But at the same time, you have to understand, this is being done to us because of our disobedience. You got to remember one of the curses. Let's go there real quick. Whoops. We were to be, let me get it real quick. This is going to be Deuteronomy 28. All right. '56. And it says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, letting you know that at one time, the Israelite woman, but this thing that I put the emphasis on thing, all right, that we have to deal with now, it is an enemy. She is an enemy. And it goes on to say, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. 57, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. Damn. All right, let's go to another one. Let's go to Lamentation. Let's see, there's that 4. Let's see. This is 3. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast, they give suck to their young ones. Their daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness. You've seen how she treats, we're talking about the so-called black woman, specifically. How she treats the young ones, specifically if it is a male child. Come here, stupid. You look just like your damn daddy. And I'm being nice when I say it like that. You all know what I mean. But let's get back to the video here. Because more and more of these, and again, this was some years ago. And what he's talking about now, they've got their own version of Black History Month, where they want to emphasize the feminine roles. Not understanding, but you need to be aware this happened during the civil rights era, with Dr. Dorothy Height breaking off, and they're having a separate march on was it Constitution Avenue or was it Independence Avenue? I believe it was Independence. And there's a photograph of Dr. Height. Somehow they didn't, in their own eyes, they didn't get the recognition that they thought they deserved. Not able to look at the big picture. And there's a picture of her looking at, Dr. King and Reverend Abernathy. And I wish I could pull it up, but like, you know, like she's being dismissed or something. But anyway, let's go back to the video.
Welcome back to the Honest Report. Black Masculine's news for the day. I apologize for the late show today. I didn't do one earlier. A crazy one. Taught a class with Green Gorilla today. Had to get a lot done. Had too many appointments. It was just ridiculous. It was all kind of ridiculous. And then I got sucked into that infamous rabbit hole that is either Criminal Minds or Law and Order. Waiting for my appointment to show up. And I've been caught in a 12-hour rabbit hole with them shows, so I don't know what it is. Hope everybody's well. Right? What's up, Priest Johnny? Uneducated Lane. What's going on? Jay Cleveland. Randy, what's up? Dardar. Good to see y'all. We have you in here. Donnie, what's up? You know, appreciate that support, Dardar. Like, share, subscribe, join, and donate if you will support the channel so we can continue to bring you independent black male thought and content that doesn't have to be filtered through corporate or politically correct means. I don't know what it is. So, last few days have been pretty crazy, pretty busy. And brothers have been sending me all kinds of stuff that, it's been interesting. Stories, articles, videos, you name it. All kinds of stuff has been dropping lately, especially in light of Father's Day. And I'm seeing black men fighting for themselves, fighting for their presence in a way I've never seen before. And I salute it. I really do. It's time to do it.
And the ironic thing about it is that's what we're here doing too. All right. There's an order that has to be established or re-established, such as it were. And now he's going from an academic standpoint, but we're telling you, or trying to tell you, our people to come back to what we formerly knew and what has been taken from us and kept from us on purpose from people who really know who we are, and that's the elites. All right. And this is what they're losing sleep over, not what he's talking about, but what we're out there on the highways and byways doing. We're fulfilling prophecy. All right. And this scares the shit out of these people, as was prophesied in Revelation 11th chapter. All right. Continuing on.
We got to put this information out. We got to think about things and challenge convention in ways that we may never have prior. So that said, these are some of the things. Let me show you. This is what one of the brothers have been sending me very recently. They've been asking me about what this is all about. Right? So in the last few months alone, 2022 has been pretty unique. We had first in February Black Her Story Month. Right? Unique event, very different. The typical Black History Month we normally acquainted with. And that was quickly followed up with Women's History Month. And of course, midst of all of that, we also had Mother's Day. And we had Pride Month, which is fairly female-leaning in the midst of it all, or at least feminine leaning. Then we had Juneteenth. And one of the things that was brought to my attention, and I've had several brothers, some of whom are professors themselves, sending me picture after image after TV show after video, where you see this kind of solipsistic, self-referencing, right, of black women by black women, right? And of course, this is followed up by the infamous and now consistent argument every year about who Father's Day belongs to. And that's what a lot of this was sparked by. Appreciate the support, Uneducated. He says, I'm on the East Coast and I'm going to make it through this one. This is for the collection plate. Much appreciated. Yeah, I don't plan to go this late very often, but I did want to get one in today. At the very least, even though it's running late. But I appreciate that support. So, as you can see on the screen, these are just random. You can find these all over now. And brothers have been asking me what this is about. And, I've talked about this for years. Kind of self-referencing, the kind of downplaying and diminishing of black male presence, both in homes as well as in popular culture. And,
it's got to be said too that this dumbass so-called black woman, she can never understand that she's being used. All right. Like, aren't you tired of being a tool of a so-called white man? I mean, you don't understand that this is what we mean by the weaker vessel, and it's Genesis 3rd chapter, all day, every day. And she just can't seem to understand that. She thinks that when you say that, you're just being, what do they say? What's the word? Male chauvinist or whatever have you. But it's true. And you prove it each and every day.
In what we might call the imaginary. Right? And so that being said, there's another angle to this that I thought really does contribute in a way to the downplaying of the black man presence, and really has a link that takes us back to enslavement. Shout out to Dr. Tommy Curry. Curry posted this today. I thought it was, it needed to be said. Right? It had to be acknowledged, had to be dealt with, because it was powerful. Right? Posted this on his Facebook page. He said, finally found a reference to free black men being a danger to women and children and beating women after slavery, which was mentioned by Bell Hooks and Be Real Cool. Bell Hooks asserts, with no citation or reference, that black men beat their wives in barns after emancipation. In 1857, Samuel Cartwright wanted to justify the institution of slavery. To do this, he argued that freeing black men would lead to the abuse of women. This is where Bell Hooks is getting this nonsense from the pro-slavery ethnology. The ethnology of the Negro or Prognathous race. Prognathous race. New Orleans Academy of Sciences, 1857. Let me bring it up. I thought I had it.
Let me get a scripture real quick because, wow, the constant assault. This is Isaiah 51 that we're under by the enemy or enemies, plural. This is Isaiah 51 and 14. It says, the captive exile which we are hasteneth that he may be loose. You're just fucking tired, man. Just fucking tired. And that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. This is a pit. We're being attacked from all angles. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, just on and on and on. That's why we hasten to be loose, to be free from this fucking hell. And this is hell. Alright, for those of us that can see it. Alright, continuing on.
Here, but I had not put it on the screen yet. Let me go ahead and pull it up there with me for a moment. I hate making it big. And so crazy today. So everything's taking longer than I planned. So anyway, but this is an incredible post. Most particularly because of what it highlights. Well, let me see if I can go ahead and share my screen. There we go. And enlarge this a little bit. So this is a page, about as large as it gets right here. But I will read the section of relevance. So this is a page that comes from Ethnology of the Negro, Prognathous Race. And the point of intention, I'll start right here with his reference. And this is Samuel Cartwright, and I'll talk a little bit about him in a minute, but I want to at least foreground what Dr. Curry laid out before we go into it. So when he's talking about the Nigretians, he's talking about Nigerians. He says, for Africans proper, not only enslave their wives, but pave their courtyards with the skulls of the refractory or disobedient. Wealth and power acquired by the husband so far from elevating wives add to their degradation by being used to increase their number. The king of Dahomey, according to the most authentic accounts, has 3,333 living wives, besides a sinks them lower. The husbands hold them in abject slavery. They dare not kill them.
You got to ask yourself, why are they so concerned? All right. Why?
As in Africa, they beat, but they beat and maltreat them in the cellars of New York and other places in the northern states, which they dare not do in the South. The freedom of the husband is a loss to the women and children. They are in slavery still and have lost their right to captives. That's interesting. This little part right here is talking about women and children being slaves to black men without white protectors. Of course, being slave owners themselves. What Dr. Curry does is he relates this to this piece here from We Real Cool by Bell Hooks. I apologize, I can't make it any larger for some reason, but it is what it is. She says on page 4, and it was within this notion of patriarchy that educated black men coming from slavery into freedom from women. However, a large majority of black men took as their standard the dominator model set by white masters. When slavery ended, these black men often used violence to dominate black women, which was a repetition of the strategies to control white slave masters used. Some newly freed black men would take their wives to the barn and beat them as the white owner had done. Clearly, by the time slavery ended, patriarchal masculinity had become an accepted ideal for most black men, an ideal that would be reinforced by 20th century women. Now, a couple things to clarify. You need to pick up the man now. Definitely need to pick up Tommy Curry's Man Now, because that is, that really provides a framework for a lot of this language. One of the arguments that he deals with in the Man Now is this question, this assumption, this accusation, most particularly by feminism, that black men seek to emulate white men, and thus, as Bell Hooks is talking about here, want to live out the white patriarchal fantasy of domination, exploitation, and patriarchal control. Right?
No, this is an excuse. When you get down to it, they don't want order. All right. And this is, I got to get it. This is the order. All right. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 11. Start at the top, because this is Paul. It says, but be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Hamashiach, Yahushua. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. 3, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach Yahushua, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach Yahushua is the Most High Yahweh. See, what the Edomite, a so-called white man, has done, in particular, with the so-called black woman, and you can see it if you're paying attention, it's turned her loose, and every other female in the world has tried to emulate the so-called, like you see it to this day. All right, and that's why you want to know why those Arabs, those Ishmaelites, are fighting so hard over there, and why it took so long for them to, I mean, they just now got the right to drive just a few short years ago. Why? Because they see the disorder and they do not want that. And the ironic thing about all that is these so-called Christians over here, all right, pretend to follow the book, but those Ishmaelites, even though they're, religion is a cheap copy of what ours is, and what even the Christians pretend to follow, they're actually getting it more right over there. All right, but over here it's chaos. It's and this is done on purpose. All right, well, I referenced in my last video, we got to go to Psalms 83. They're doing everything they can. This is a concerted effort on our enemy's part to keep us from becoming a nation. All right, keep us in disarray and disorder. Continuing on.
using information that is inaccurate or has racist origins. And he just found another example of that today. So y'all know I'm a supporter of Dr. Curry's work, founder of Black Male Studies. So this is the kind of thing that scholars in the field have been putting into context. Shout out to Dr. Curry. Right? The important work that we tend to overlook in many ways, or it doesn't get the publicity it should, because in many ways it frames the relationship that we still have in the Black community on many fronts. Granted, since Dr. Curry is Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Black Male Studies. Oh, he called me the LeBron. Okay, that's interesting. Rich Turner, appreciate that support. Very good, appreciate that. Shout out to Ghetto User, host.
All right, that's for that's going to be it on that. But it goes into highlighting how these games are being played in order to keep us once again from becoming a nation. We are a nation that's being held captive within a nation. All right. But the good thing is, all right, we're starting to come up out of this. These curses are being transferred to our enemies, Deuteronomy 30:7. All right, and those that devoured us, let's get that real quick, are starting to experience some of the self-same things. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 16. It says, Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee, and that's what they have done, shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So all these traps and snares that they set for us, they're starting to experience themselves. Hey, so with that, shalom.